Good morning. We start with Lama Tsongkhapa Guru Yoga. From the heart of the Savior of 100 deities of Tushita, on a peak of cloud resembling a clam of extremely white fresh curd, King of Dhamma, omniscient Losandrapa, please come here together with your sons. In the sky before me, on a lion throne, lotus and moon, my perfect pure Guru smiles with delight. Supreme field of merit for my mind of faith, please abide for 100 yawns to spread the teachings. Your holy mind has the intelligence that understands the full extent of objects to be known. Your holy speech with its excellent explanations is an ear ornament for those of good fortune. Your holy body is radiantly beautiful with glory renowned. To you who are meaningful to see, hear, and remember, I prostrate. Please in drinking water, various flowers, fragrant incenses, lice, scented waters, and so forth. Oceans of cloud-like offerings, both actually arranged and mentally emanated, I offer to you the supreme field of merit. Whatever non-virtue of body, speech, and mind, especially those opposite to the three vows that I have collected from beginningless time, I confess each and every one with fervent regret from my heart. You strove for much learning and practice in this degenerate age, and made your freedoms and richnesses meaningful by abandoning the eight worldly concerns. Savior, we sincerely rejoice in your extensive peace. Perfect, pure, holy Gurus, from the billowing clouds of wisdom and compassion in the sky of Dharmakaya, please let fall a rain of profound and extensive Dharma upon the receptacle of those to be subdued, exactly as they need. May whatever virtue I have collected benefit the teachings and all transmigratory beings, and in particular may it cause the essence of perfect pure Losandrapa's teachings to shine forever. Sajiv ki Chushig metok Trablin Nide Gempadi Sange Jindu Mite o Hidrokunanda Shila Chupashu. By the merits of having offered this mandala to Lama Tsongkhapa and his two sons, may I, my family members, and all sentient beings be able to meet, practice, and actualize the teachings of the victorious one, Losandrapa, who had a morality of eminently pure way of life, was courageous in the extensive conduct of the sons of the victorious ones, and accomplished the yoga of two stages of supreme bliss and emptiness. Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niryatayami. By the force of having fervently requested in this way, hollow beams of white light are emitted from the hearts of the perfect pure Father and Sons, and combining into one enter my crown. White nectar, the color of milk, flows from the opening of tube of white light, cleansing all my sicknesses, spirit harms, negative karmas, obscurations, and they imprints without exception. My body becomes as pure and clear as crystal. Now we recite 5 Lan Miksema 3 times together. Migme tsewe te chen chen rezi, drime gempe wampo jampe yang, dupo malu jonze sawe dak, kanchen gepe tsungen tsong kapa, lo sandrape shabla soade. Migme tsewe te chen chen rezi, drime gempe wampo jampe yang, dupo malu jonze sawe dak, Ganchen gepe tsungen song kapa, lo sandrape shabla soade. Migme tsewe te chen chen rezi, drime gempe wampo jampe liang, dupo malu jonze sawe dak, ganchen gepe tsungen song kapa, lo sandrape shabla soade. And I pray for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Fearless teacher and assembly of the children of the victorious ones, Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas, victorious Losang father and sons, along with the lineage masters, all the objects of refuge of infinite lands, please bestow the virtue and goodness of accomplishing this prayer here and now, holding and spreading the Muni's precious and complete teachings through explanation and practice. You wore the armor of patience that is never discouraged. Incomparable, venerable Guru, to you I make request. While striving single-pointedly for the sake of the victorious one's teachings, the sole gateway through which all benefit and happiness emerge, and for mother living beings, you suddenly departed to peace. What a great loss! Nevertheless, through the undeceiving truth of the blessings of the ocean of the three jewels, and the great waves of bodhicitta of the children of the victorious ones, may the smile of a reincarnation swiftly beam in a glory for fortunate disciples.
Soji chonlum la changche bardu dami kyabsun chi dagi chushi jeband dag rolam benje sanji drubar sho sanji chedon soji chonlum la changche bardu dami kyabsun dagi chushi jeband dagi rolam benje sanji drubar sho sanji chedon soji chonlum la changche bardu dami kyabsun Dagi chushi jebanda dagi ndalampi sanjin drubar sho. Kangi tuzi nizuni tawa tamji pambi chari tambi chun tenzi kodam dela chanzi lo namo la ikeda lo dana jiki tribun dala mi ikeda ro gunji ranam chi zamba tamji kedu dagi chu den to. Good morning everyone. Then la pesho. Trasitele. Devo, kude. Cerchi come.
Hello, kude kanta.
Tago.
O yang itu kiri ni kasih ser.
Ah, yeah. He's my friend. Long time. I remember. This Chanjo Jagarda. Chanjo
Yes.
I remember him 2000, 2001.
Yes.
Very, very young, small monk. Very cute. Rala.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And then he grew up. And I remember 2008, 9, 10. And yeah. His education is very, very good education he have. I hope it's a good translator. And can I moderate Chidara?
That's all. Tashidelek. My name is Tutin. As Gisela introduced, I know Gisela since 2000 when I was very young at Sarah. And I did my primary studies in Buddhist philosophical studies at Sarah. And then later I worked in Dharamshala, Library of Tibetan Works and Archives, as translator for a year or so. Then, since my passion is translation, I committed to study Sanskrit literature. I did my master's on Sanskrit literature, and so right now I'm working as an assistant editor for a multi-language Buddhist terminology dictionary. Thank you.
Yeah, good.
Okay, sama kude again.
Diligent. Yes, yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's all.
Costa. Yeah. Any manzo chozo di zuni. That's a long up to Korgora. Chinese Institute. This year 50 years, coming 50 years. And dealing like that, non-chu chingy, and non-chu tole, get you the remember mambo choyores, gigging the sum you make a tingy, choyores. Then it get you a mambo choyores, the yonkin laya, and druggy chetico, and in Ganzutan jigging chingy chiriwas, Tambule, and Tama, Tadred, got jigging chingy chinza, then Gurdrovores, Guranshin, the San John, then the Chu Nangata, Nangachishi chicked, Chagdas, Guranshin, the Hakugoyati. Yeah.
So this year, our Dharma Center, Chinese Institute, will be kind of completing or celebrating 15 years since its inception. So over the course of past 50 years, we have had numerous teachers, translators, so on and so forth. So we can really see that, many teachers have came and, they went, as well as many translators have come and gone. So if you look into these past, time, we can really see that, coming and going is really a undeniable reality. Even in Buddha's teaching, he taught that, things appear and disappear, so therefore change is a kind of a reality that we all cannot deny. So to understand that impermanent nature of things is very crucial to fully understand and appreciate Buddha's teaching.
Derida, Karso, the Chozo Dige, Pena, Legacy, Director Mambuchi, Yon Yore, Yore, SPC, Tanda Legacy Kanji, Legacy Leje Bainaya, Mambushuji Yon Yore, Mambushuji, and Tendru, then Gudrogres, Kun Gui Ranshin, then Gudrogores, and Gidu in that Nansheres, Ra, in the Tanganzo, Gudroguyanaya, Muntuni, Tanganzo Muntuni, Benatachi Chozodi, Ne Tuyagi, Rangan Sosu, Migir Sosu, any message Mado Yomari, Tini, Gudroguyanaya, the Chozodi, and it's message Chibuji Ringlaya, and the sound of Tanning on the Chashi Shaji, so in the Remondas. On the Chozodi, that's Gurimbo, Chona Lotonta Lalea, Ne Tuyagi, on the Cabo Legaching is when the sound of Tani, and the Legachi Goya, Zinjon Chigoya. That is a kitchen show Chagioras.
So moreover, if you look into this past 50 years of history of this institute, we can see that we also have lots of directors, spiritual directors of the institute, as well as many spiritual program coordinators of the institute. And also, if you look at the student, we have had many students, they graduate, they go. So that's kind of, change will always come. It's that kind of change is part of any institute. However, if we really, think carefully, we as individuals, whether you're a teacher or whether you're a student of the institute, our life is just one life. We will become part of the institute for one lifespan alone. But however, when we think about the survival or the management of this institute, we should not think alone for our own lifespan alone, but we have to think about the flourishing of this institute for many lifetimes to come, even thousands of years to come. We have to think about the flourishing of these centers for the future time as well. So therefore, as the present administrator of the institute, it is very important to think about the future kind of future of this institute, how we can ensure that this center will flourish for many years to come.
yam tsembu ya manzo ta ten rondi tan din delle legachi dinawale de ta dini ten rondi ani manzo sam nawala ya chi gawa da trowaji ki thoni ani ten ro thubaina ta di kechemu shoji chagdo asro manzo miriji dini ten rondi lopong gi ngani rogoyachi roshayachi yunguyoros ti pe 아니 만주다치 최적직 뭐니 최적레 최적은 진경치니 최적직 뭐니다 아니 만주 디나용 디네 튼르 갑라 직 러봉 진안에 튼르 고야지 차와나다 디베 로펑분도 틴자 만주 디톨 베서서 치고도스 로 디톨 베서서 치고도스
And then yet again, if you think about how people come and go, how we as individuals become the part of the institute and then later kind of departed from this institute and so forth, this change will occur. However, the most important thing to remember is that once we kind of separate from this institute, if we can do so with joy and happiness in our heart, that you have done something meaningful while you're here, then this is something inspiring. However, there might be cases that when you separate from this institute, if you happen to separate or depart with a heavy heart, with a regret in your heart, so this is something quite sad.
데르딘자 다디 조디 카르스나 당한준 델이야 지 당랑게 레가칭이 아니 지다 레제르ம்ப 망보여레 아니 지 망체려야 다 최종 디는 레바인자 최종 디 응원에 봐 말라 팬토야게 다지 아니 탑시세나문도 아니 락차세나문도 디 남바상기 최디 차게르마다 제망안절이야 메시엠발야 팬토야게 아니 탑다 지 셴바케 요마로와스 로 벤주 다 딜리 토닝 안즈 메셴발야 팬도체 투야세 키요마르라야 롱바딘데 제고해세 키요마로와스 당 안즈 파 팬도 지고야디 넘버 산지비 추 응원에 파 팬도 지고 요반자 지 내가 지금 순라지 용바이나야 아니 콘줄이야 지추 녀야다 추 신야기 탑시 디다 지 고게시다 다이렉터다 SPC다 다지 레제 응원에 탑시 디치고야 돼 하장 그 계정으로지 통구도스
And then as I mentioned earlier, We could have many different teachers in the past, many volunteers who are responsible for arranging these Dharma teachings in this institute and so forth. And the main objective of this institute is really to try to contribute to the society in terms of imparting Dharma teaching and so on and so forth. So we cannot, make a huge contribution in the financial contribution to others and so on. But what what this institute can really do is to benefit others by imparting Buddhist teachings. So with regard to that, it's very important for everyone involved with this institute, whether it's being the teacher, whether it's being the coordinator, or whoever it is. It's really important to keep that in mind. That the most important thing that we could do to help other is to be responsible in imparting this precious Buddhist teachings to others.
Tinzam, lakdun dungan tanda volunteer tanda tanglangi lega chingi tam mangbuch gyun tuning anzala yondigi yorasra. Ani yondingen su mangchedi ta shengire dos ra. Tinza an duzu la ani chi nganzu chuzo ngone ngone chi number sanji bi choosing the kandaji imbadang dele ya chi pendo kandaji yome duzu chi chanzang ji ngodro chi tugoya da pe masaba keshi mu tongdos.
And especially we have many volunteers in this institute, and most of them are really young, and many young and many youths are involved in our initiatives. So it's very important for our institute to make sure that these volunteers can really learn about the importance and the benefits of receiving Buddhist teachings and understanding Buddhist teachings.
Lakdun da jing mangbala ya ji lo tongta kirin ya nganzu chuzo de nego yo ba na ani dela yongin gi shengji digi dela ya ani dabo ja go da nenga shoji chago rasra.
Especially if you think about the future of this institute, if you then it's really crucial for these young people to really understand the efficacies and the benefits of Buddhist teaching.
Terdani ta pento cheg de yakshu di nama sanji bi chu di sanji jomden di ta labja di chagi yores ro anzu ta sanji jomden di labja di thoni pha jen la pento chigi ba na ya chigi ba na ji en zambling gi mamang la ya pento che tu ya gi ani nibadi sanji jomden di labja de yores ro da di pena me gesu pena ngado jin ta 아니 지 땡자기 기기지 닝은에 봐 미카즈스를 제샤와 있다 종타메 봐지 산이 좀 된디 라비자드 제여라서라 디프기 미 샘감라 이바이나야 펜 톡슈디 로 안주 고야드 대와리 무고야드 둥아리 둥알세야다 대와 드비야기 탑람 약슈디 좀 된디 라비자드 제스 티타슈도 그래서
And then if you think about how we can, benefit others, the answer is obviously by imparting Buddha's teaching. And we can also see that these precious Buddha's teachings have the potential to benefit many other sentient beings. It has the potential to, kind of provide spiritual solace or peace of mind for countless beings in this. So therefore, even if I speak from the teacher's point of view, I can share this knowledge as much as I could, as much as I can, and this can become really beneficial to the minds of the listeners. And yet again, it's we all, sentient beings want happiness and do not want suffering. And Buddha's teaching has the kind of potential to solve or to shun the miseries that we do not want, and to achieve the happiness that we all seek.
대달하던 나직 저존 인바이나 아니 지 배균난den기 아니 준진종칭이 디난에 다 태과 침비구치 라 태과 침비구치 아니 진종 배송 칭인지 자기여러스 다 태과 침비구치 슬라운디 너드나 아니 셴라야 편도치야 되려도스라 셴라 다지 다 셴심제 탐지스 라고여다이냐 간지 잠블링기 무망라야 펜톡 투야기 아니 콜롱 딘디지 토니라 심자 탐젤라 펜톡도요 콜롱 딘디지 토니 대버치 비추던 로기여라서라 다 간주 상당에는 잠블리나 파 펜톡 투야기 아니 뉴바당 탑시로 가리얼스라나 패션 남아산지 추 산지 좀 된디 라비자 딜을 사가지 자원이 요사 말이스 잠블리나라야 다지 벤절라 소바다지 아니 단 잠은데 여르데네 밀고고 여바 딘디지 토니다 아니 심자 탐젤라 펜토 코스 라바이나 아니 투비아 거래 요 말아스더라 라비샤 디 토니 심자 탐젤라 펜토 치와나 큐니 종타 메바지 베 엔 파테 투야기다 아니 니바지 산지 라비샤들이 여러와스라
And since this institute is a center that teaches about Tibetan Buddhism, and especially Mahayana tradition, that follows Mahayana tradition, and when we talk about practicing Mahayana teachings, what really means is to have the motivation to benefit as many beings as possible. So therefore, as practitioner of this particular tradition, we should have the motivation to benefit as many as we could, and especially to benefit the entire kind of human population of the world. And then if you think about how we as an individuals or we as an institute could benefit or could contribute to others in the best possible way, obviously the answer is by teaching Buddha Dharma, because there can be other ways where we could benefit others, but as far as the efficacy and the benefit of imparting these teachings are concerned, definitely Buddha's teaching is the kind of best kind of gift that we could provide to benefit many other sentient beings. So we could share inexhaustible knowledge and wisdom through these teachings to benefit others.
그래디 간르스 펜토그레스 잠블링기 마망라야 간르스 펜토 투그레센 베나 라바이나 간주 참을로 그 데바데바당 동ar문데바 티 야샤 야탐바 찍규리 임반사 그 고야 티 야샤 얀 야탐바 랍투야 데바데라와스라 데와슬라온디 쪼디 샘감게 데바트 샘게 데바트 라 다지 류기 디기 용사게 지 론저다지 아니 덩칸라 소바 딩안주 디기기 용사게 시지 찌거다 이네야 쪼디 데바싱인디 소르바지렌다스 라 소르바디 샘게 차시지기라와스 다 딘자 간지 샘라야 데바 용야지 제토바이나 아니 펜도레스 샘라 데바 용야지 제마드나 펜도 제투요 말했다 너르드나 디차가도 하더라 딘자 샘라 펜도 제투야 타블럼 야차 야탐바디 아니 산지 좀 된데 라비잔들은 도와스.
Okay. And then you might ask how we can benefit others, how Buddha Dharma can really benefit others, can contribute others. So we all want happiness and do not want suffering. So that reality is same for each and every one of us. And if what we want is happiness, then what are the means to achieve that? So basically, when we talk about happiness, it is a state of mind. Happiness is definitely a state of mind. We can talk about, physical pleasure and physical happiness and so on and so forth, but the primary happiness is as a state of mind. So if we could benefit others to achieve a peaceful state of mind, peace of mind and so forth, that is the kind of way where we can benefit others. And Buddha Dharma definitely has the huge potential to achieve or to provide peace of mind for many sentient beings.
Tirada ani sem devasna sem kibu yongya sem phagpebu yongya derwasra ta sem ani tanganzul nyamnyong yorada ra gawakiya semleya gawakiya jiki samluj tangto bana kibu dwasra semla magawakiya jik penata jik ani chik chagdo dan densam dan ngagela soba control soba leya ki kenji tebana lo de keba nini magilology nganz chagi yorasra din za semla deva yongyagi tablam shinji malawadi sanjomden di labjanalya songdo asra dungar seyagi chagdang monsum seyagi tab shinji malawa da susu rang nigi pe laglen tar madar remado susu rangi sanjomden di songjabi labjadi laglen gyacha gyatamba tarwayna gyacha gyatamba pi ani nyumo tusum seyadi pa setu yada sem magiba di mewa sotu yada sem kibu di pe tuntu yage tablam shinju malawaz sanji labjanala yores.
So from our own personal experience, happiness is a state of mind. And when we talk about peace of mind and happiness and so on and so forth, there are cases when we think about positive states of mind. These states of mind, even simply kind of contemplating about these states of mind, it really uplifts our mood. We feel kind of happy. But on the other hand, when we think about jealousy, anger, and other destructive emotions, other negative emotions, simply by when these negative states of mind arises in our mental continuum, we immediately feel disturbed. So therefore, Buddha Dharma has the kind of Buddha Dharma teaches about means and methods, unmistaken means and methods to overcome these negative states of mind. And so if we can implement Buddha Dharma, Buddha's teaching in our day-to-day life without fail, then we can definitely avoid all these destructive negative emotions, including the three cardinal negative emotions, and we can definitely achieve the positive states of mind or peaceful states of mind if we can implement Buddha Dharma in our day-to-day life without fail. Yes.
Namasanji bicho namolaya ta kicheshu di chamze sengde sungores ro chamze ta nganzu namgyu gi chi ne namgyu ta nganzu chi karso ta chaksam da devi ro ransho da shensho chechen ta chi ransho la ya ne chakbi wangi ti chi chambajora te mayimba dindigi chamze chi chogriwa de mayimba ani chi pe 참을로야 잔념기 따투야기 잠지직 선거래서 딘디 잠지디 여바나 딘디 잠지디 미술 여바나야 미디 시딩알 네트워크래서.
And then another important kind of topic that we from Buddhist teaching is about compassion. And again, here, when we talk about compassion, it should not be kind of conjoined within, it should not be a kind of a biased compassion, so to speak. For example, there can be states of mind where you have, partial compassion towards beings you feel close to, and kind of then you don't maybe feel that much compassionate to those who are not who are indifferent or who are not directly related to you. So these kinds of compassion are biased compassion. So we should try to develop unbiased compassion that could include the entire being within the circle of your focus. So whomsoever could develop this kind of unbiased compassion in our mind, then definitely this kind of person, can achieve peace of mind by developing this unbiased compassion.
인디기 잠재디다 중요하게 탑럼이야 신주말로와 세거다 신주말로와 탑이 양답하지 산기 라브자나와야 잠재디 준비 탑이야 신주말로와 열에서 소주 아니 디 잠바이나 잠재디 소주 줄이야 게토야게 탑 신주말로와 산기 손날에 뛰는 샤열에서.
And then in Buddha's teaching, we can also find kind of unmistaken methods about the cultivation of this unbiased compassion. So if we could implement the teaching, then definitely we can cultivate compassion.
There tab sonja de rigbot demba. Rigbot demba said Tony Sonyores.
And then the method that we find in Buddha's teaching about cultivation of compassion is also grounded in reason.
Tenanjingi tajik chamzi kiyagi any gorgin singing chadam onsum. Tenan bena tajik kondro shadan chadolo sobi lotidia sayagi tap segi yobatan sayagi tap tian the sewu shojin Sonyores.
And then we can also find methods of avoiding the obstructive kind of mental states of cultivating compassion. For instance, negative states of mind such as attachment, aversion, ignorance, and so forth. This really, contributes for the this really hinders or obstructs for the cultivation of compassion. So in Buddha's teaching, we can also find method about how to overcome these negative states of mind.
Penada chadam onsum nimu segi yobati nimu segi yobati karsna ku tsawa di mariba reshas. Mariba mishiba mumbi wangi teni chakbaki yobatan ani mishiba mumbi wangi shadan kontro chakdola soba ki yobati gunzen sewu shujin song yoresta sosu jangin jimbaina.
And then negative states of mind such as attachment, aversion, and so forth can be removed from our mind. The reason is that all these negative states of mind are based on ignorance, so they do not have a solid kind of foundation. So therefore, if we could kind of implement correct method, we could definitely avoid such negative states of mind.
Tinzada mishiba mumbadi se yobadang peshe nganzu tongtu yadojirasa samutangbayna hakwayaji ra kari mashibadi ani nedun jaundi kushiundi tanjig mishibadi la sedor medor asra tinza mariba segi yobadianku gunzen rigba yores tinza tab mariba tartu ondi da ani mariba pigita dangzin seati ra dangzin gi kandajin zingi yore karin zingi yore tindigi daat tribigi ani nedun duda mendudia rigbelam ni chebachini dame batenla phapsuchi ta shibsawu shujin song yorasra.
And then yet all these negative states of mind are based on ignorance. And then if you ask how we can get rid of this fundamental ignorance, so the answer is that even in our day-to-day life, ignorance simply means not knowing something. So when we kind of learn something, when we gain the knowledge about certain things, we kind of dispel the ignorance regarding to that thing. So similarly, by developing knowledge, by developing wisdom, we can get rid of the ignorance. For instance, the most fundamental ignorance in the Buddha Dharma is about the self-grasping mind, grasping the kind of intrinsic existence of self. So we need to really analyze the distorted nature of this mind. And by understanding the distorted nature of mind, how by knowing that this state of mind, by the grasping the intrinsic existence of self is a distorted mind, we can eliminate by applying by developing its antidotal mind.
일단 that's 놀디온디 아니 산지 좀 된데 랍샤 강인바디 춘 놀디온디 칼리고레슬라온디 잠지 로키야탄 아니 셰르브키에 로 딩이 키야게 아니 타블럼직 차고레스 산지 좀 된데 랍샤
So the entire Buddha Dharma can be seen as a method to develop compassion and wisdom.
Pena sanji jomde digi chö tokma song di denbashi song bara wasra. Denbashi di yi zo di kararese na nelu nguyo netsu di songdo wasra. Da nguyo netsu song di tela chumdi kararese na di nguyo netsu la shinji lo do shubi lo mariba da do togra wasra. Terda denbashi tokma ni tsawa mariba pambicherdo 도비체도 닐루 뎀바시 송여바디 다 세부 쇼즈레스.
Yes. And then if you look into Buddha's own life, the first Dharma teaching that he gave is about the Four Noble Truth. And if we kind of study or analyze the teaching on Four Noble Truth, we can see that this is really a teaching about reality. So meaning that this teaching really help us to remove all the distorted ideas that we have regarding the reality of things. So by developing the correct states of mind, by developing correct knowledge about the reality, we could really avoid the distorted or the mistaken states of mind.
That dembashi tomadi any dongar dembasong dongar dembalaya kejishi toma any metavasati songudas. 간진 도르드나 산지 좀 되디 통화 될야 메다바 아니 규이란 신진티 랑안즈다지 미기 통야 암조 거야 비 라베제 요바다지 용수 조바디 규이란 신진지 차여와서라 임바이나 안주기지 니리기 자자나와 상당한디지 규와메바 딱박 소르지 상로다니 차지 대샤진 레가치 대피기 율코란 교조한디 소수 상로다 차지다 피기 유 닐루니 아니 차만트디 드닝안도 샘라야 강간 체고여라서라 다 피기 닐루디 규베란진지 임바디 샘나야 라지 트바이나 율단 툼비 아니 상로다 차시지 샤는 로투고여레스 디 로바이나 가드이나 샘라 강간 체야디 메바치 차야 야시자다 요사르 와서라
And if we look at the teaching on Four Noble Truth, the first is the truth of suffering. And the first characteristic of the truth of suffering is, of course, impermanence. So, so therefore, Buddha first taught about impermanence or the transient nature of things. So, meaning that all things and events are subject to change. So, if we kind of understand this fact that things are subject to change, then there will be less kind of confusion. But however, in our day-to-day life, normally we fail to recognize this fact that things are subject to change. We assume that things are permanent, and then with that kind of wrong assumption, we make plans. And when things do not come out as we plan, because this is kind of not in tune with the reality, then we suffer because our plans are not in align with the reality of the reality. But however, on the other hand, if we make plans in our life that also by knowing that things are subject to change, then there will be less suffering and less confusion.
And Zabalina, the Mimang the Kangan Tessa di Kendi Tangzingi Wanki. Tangzingi Wanki, Tendi Charge Dan, Lega Karchenaya, Piggy Tachi Tangzin de Shishun Chiondi, and Tangzin Loshin Lore, Tangzing Tapata Nanshin Piggy, you Nilula, Timedi Sambala, and Kangan Cheviras.
So if you look into our everyday to day life, many people suffer because of having grasping at this by thinking that things don't change, by grasping at the permanent nature of things, and then we make plans according to that. But the reality of thing is subject to change, and our plans always do not align with the reality. So therefore, we tend to suffer.
Pardon, the number Sanji, choosing it when some time Medavi Netsuldi, Shinduni Kitchen Chago Restra. Medavi, Givi Ranshin Chinkit, Niluji Tomato Vana, Shen Namdaji, the young Mares. Young Mares. Givi Ranshin Chen Tondi, Penas Rangi Lunga Yixam and Givi Ranshin. Rangi Mitsendi by Sendi by and Givi Ranshin. Those Tondi, and Kewachima singing, Nitsuldi, Titon Legorasra. The Kewachimagi Nitsuji Leondita, Tandi Tendelea, Kewachimalaya, Pembigi, and Chawaj Chian do the Mundo said. You could ranching Chivaris. That Kewachimalay, Pembigi, Chawaji, Yovaina, Carres, that Chu de Lavaji, and the Mazeno Chava Carri Chivania, Chu Gavi Chavachia, Daily lost Kewachimala Pembi Chawaji, Yajajan Yadam Yomaris. Tindija Hakon, that Chunamda Chia there, Tiningures. Kewachimi Tolaya, sound lot Sawanin, Tamatuna, Chunamdaji, Yungiomaris.
And particularly as a practitioner of Buddha Dharma, it is really important to understand this concept of impermanence, the transient nature of things, how things are subject to change, and so on and so forth. So if we, unless we could develop this state of mind or this kind of understanding that things and events are subject of change, we definitely, could not become a genuine practitioner. If you really want to become a kind of a true and genuine practitioner of Buddha Dharma, then it's really crucial to understand this fact that things are subject to change. And if you take our own life as an example, or if you take our own body, speech, and mind as an example, all these are subject to change, and we should understand that these are subject to change and will change. And when we think about the transient or the changing nature of our life, then obviously the subject of next life will come into play. And now when we talk about future lives, it's really important to think that what this present life can do to benefit the future lives. So the answer is that the only thing that that the present life could benefit the future life is obviously practicing the Buddha Dharma. So therefore, by understanding the transcendent nature of things, and if we put Dharma into practice, then this could definitely benefit our future life as well.
Tinza nganzu suzula yebita ludan semda ngala ani di samaz chi suzu chi nami lu longju ta ganji nyen de gyupenjo ta yong su zoba di gyu rangshin chen ji grawasra ta di dinji gyu rangshin chen de ya takba tempo surajin zin de na rang le ya kangan che gyu chagre ma do pento kan yo mares Dordina 정도 되게 라비자 딘디지 차기도 하더라. 메다빈니 톨 상다운디 소설 랭고에 라비자 디디 차기도 하더라. 데리 규위 란신진디 규위 란신진 통투 바이나 콜라인 규와 같은 로바네 셈레레 아니 지금 남라단 교바단 디요 마레스. 간선 그 란신들어 아삼삼기 단들렌 투야기 아니 그 소설 디요로 왔어라. 다디 딱바 템포진 진데바는 규위 란신진 규온디 gyuwa shukchenpo jin zhongwa di teni sem nama kangan chayachi ngamra kiya di yungu do asara.
Yes. And again, if we think about our own, being as an example, our body, speech, and mind, our family, your possessions, your friends, all these are really subject to change. They do not last long, right? So, however, if we think that these things will not change or does not change, then we are really contradicting with the reality of the nature, and that's how we ended up suffer. So the main teaching of Buddha with respect to impermanence is really to understand that everything that surrounds us are subject to change. And the moment we appreciate this fact, the moment we understand this fact that things and events are subject to change, then there will be less confusion in our life. But on the other hand, if we kind of have a kind of grasping that these things will not change, then we will automatically suffer, because what we are thinking and what we are doing is contradictory with the nature of reality.
Lega di rangi lega dian gyu rangshi chinjires. Rangi kone dian gyu rangshi chinjire. Rangi topdang dian gyu rangshi chin. Tizu gyuwa shu dhruwar dan zambuli nanglar. Lega shoya dan, tachi kosa shoya dan, tizu le ondi kita kanga chishu dilan chego razara. Tizu gyu rangshi chinjimba di sem nanglar ya, sem na shatu baya na ten pendo yore, sosi mese nanglar ya.
And then if we again look into our own life, our jobs, our positions, and everything is impermanent and are subject to change. And then if we understand this fact that our jobs, we could lose our jobs, we could lose our positions, and jobs and positions are subject to change. And when in fact, even if we lose our job, or even if we change our jobs or something, that sort of things happen, then because of the fact that we realize that these are subject to change, there will be less confusion and suffering, because we are ready for what is going to happen, or we could kind of accept that these things could change.
Then gyuwa teya ko gyugenjila ya tyoba de songo dasara. Gyuwa de gyugenjila tyonin gyudrogo yawanza gyu yagachi druptu bayna gyuwa di yaksajila drobata. Gyu di duwa jile bayna gyuwa duksa jilan roshaji. Isa lendre kordi ta dini nenga cheshu dini yunguyo sares.
And then here, when we talk about change and the impermanent nature of things, and these changes does not come without any causes and conditions. Things change due to causes and conditions. And then if we could cultivate the positive causes and conditions, we can make positive changes. And if we are, if we only, kind of cultivating negative causes, then we can only make negative change. So therefore, the concept of karma or concept of law of causality becomes very important.
The patient concept chewat this yira.
So we will leave the session open for question and answers.
Share yeah, nothing, no questions. Sorry.
Can I ask one question? Yeah. So, lately we've had like a bit of discussions amongst staff and volunteers, and now I've been here 5 months, so I've seen different sort of atmospheres, sometimes happier, sometimes more sad. So I don't feel somewhat so involved, but I like to observe. And one thing I heard, and I didn't hear it firsthand, so I don't even know who said it, but a volunteer who came here said, I know that while I'm volunteering here, I'm gathering good karma, but I don't know what karma is. And it was sort of an expression of a bit of confusion and also yearning to know. And so I don't know what the solution is, but I'm making an observation that people are maybe it would be great to find avenues where volunteers can connect even more with Dharma here. So that's it.
Short questions. Very short questions. Rinpoche dance.
디송도 길라 모란탄다 파길라 피치 타낭기 찰레난기 요사레 아니 타나 찰레난 피치 다왕가스 지덴데 조송사라 아니 다왕가스 모라파기 타낭 찰 레가치 갑소 니 냠용 담메다 충송 삼레 냠용 야보 용바 삼레 야치 데스 로마디베 총바 덴데 네가 맘보 용코도스 아니 믹스기 탄다 딩월라 타낭 기 레체치 냠도 기치셰베 갑소 아니 모랑기 카레라그도스나 마탄다 추소라 도스 타낭기 레가치네 가서다 레 상부 사기 세기도스 이니 레 상부 카리사기레 카리스는 모람 익셀렌스 겜 시라세 우랑 민도스 티치도 모랑 텐데 직 디기 튼다디 톨레티 시라 칼로 고마츠비 인데다 텐디 차도스 지단 디기 탑람 카리메다 신기메데 모랑 지단 통낭라고 텐디 통송 타낭기 리지 가시직 갑술라 텔 추솔라 타낭기레가 찰레난기 여바이나야 아니 직 레게와사기 섬데아마도 칸디스사기 레게와스 카리스 텐다타탄 고마츠예 치로 텐데긴데다 통고도스 지상 아니 마옹바라 타낭기 찰레난기도소 아니 추기 고도 띵 사브르타에기 직 칼로다 탑람 텐디 강상사 nang to bayana genzen yosares timorangi samchirochi tene yinsigdo
Divas kiremda.
mixi tiwa marisha la ta chik tongsirochi tene chisungdo
Dinang la ya tambudi nyamnyong yagada duga chirao sesh lo. Tingan zu mitsi gyurum nang la ya ani chunyi sorochi redwa zira. Manzu mi mitsi gyurum mitsi chik nang la ya chik yagdug mambu nitsu yongya di 당랑 lega chik kap chibu mayimba mitsi korang ki gyulam nanglo la ya chik karsa warta chik chunyi sora rwa.
So with regard to her observation, she said that she had kind of different experiences, or rather sometimes happy experiences or sometimes sad experiences in while volunteering in the institute. So if we really look in our life, this kind of experiences are part of our life. Not only, when you are volunteering in a particular institute, but rather, good experiences and bad experiences are part of our life in everyday, whatever things that we do in our life. These are bound to happen.
Then the lendri kordi le sangbudang le ngyamba se the lendri namja shinju malawa di nganzu lobjong karina yorslawa na namba sangi bi chomden digi labja nang yore mato shemba nganzu zambilingi lomzen kandaji yobay na ya ani digi lomzen di yomarawas dela ya lobjong yagoji majena le sambu saga yobata le ngemba kar saga yome namja di shia kalakagores.
And secondly, with regard to some volunteers not having adequate kind of knowledge about the good karma, how to create good karma, and so on and so forth. So it's really important to understand that the unmistaken explanation about karma and particularly how to kind of cultivate positive karma and negative karma, all these things could be found in Buddha's teaching.
That's a le singing and chawajirendas, chawajilaya, le segorada. In the chawa sambujila, le gewatan, chawang yambajila, le megiwas. And then Umadi, some dance tires. That chawa san the ngen said, college cigars lady, Sozula duni chickshe chogodas, Jena dunia chickshe choice. Jena pembigi chawaji bana, chawa the sambo. Jena nubi chawaji bana, chawa the ngemba. Yan rang la pembi, chawaji bana, chawa the sambo. Zu rang la pendi, the ganzum draw miji in banza, ganzula and tumo body, and namju put the choya, turn to your nubajigoras. Me namju, chamzet and sherabki, the ranshi res lagorada, me, ganzun draw missing in the chambadang, Zawada, Sherab Gran Shenroch. In the Chamzi, the Sherab compelled the town to a Nivan Tomo Maimbachi. The Chilog mission 11 Tomo Maimbadi, Milliores. And the Dilawar. Things that didn't never dream to Yagi, Chavaj Chetuana, Chava the Sambores. That Della Nubi Chavaj Chagavana, Chava the Yamba Zichogodasra.
And here, when we talk about karma or law of causality, what karma really means is an action. So, basically, karma means an action, and a positive action is, kind of equals to virtue, and a negative action is a non-virtue action. So therefore, here, when we talk about virtuous action or non-virtuous action or positive action and negative action and so on and so forth, we can kind of decide these in terms of our own personal experiences as well as in terms of others. So there are actions that is beneficial to you, but maybe not beneficial to others. But then there are actions that is beneficial to others as well as yourself. So therefore, it's really important to engage in actions that are beneficial to others, that could contribute for the well-being of others, and so on and so forth. So to do that, we should use the human intelligence and human compassion, because our innate nature of human being is compassion and loving kindness. So therefore, we should try to engage in actions that could help develop these positive states of mind in others. So if we could contribute for the development or for the cultivation of these positive states of mind in others, then definitely we are engaging in a positive, we are creating positive karma.
Tendo 당랑기 내가 칭인 솔라야 난추 고도 돌아 로바치고 세디 오늘이스 라 당한저 당랑기 내가 칭이 추조그 따지 균댕이 내가 칭이 가리임바이는 당한저 오스트레일리아 나로래 왔어 라 한저 오스트레일리아 롱바디 하장기 팀이 야구여서 롱바지그래 왔어 오스트레일리아에 팀이 요리 추조들이야 팀이 요리 왔어 라 아니 사람도 지 팀이 송기 내가 치는 로샤와이나 네 삼나 욕다 요 말했어 아 러베나 다이렉트하게 팀 줘랬어 매니저가 팀 줘랬어 매니저 코랑기 내가 지어랬어 아니 당날 내가 칭해서나 당날 내가 칭이 그 내가 지어랬어 베나 돈다 지는 추서 가지 내고 그래 니마치는 추서 가지 내고 그래 네 담볼 내원는 그 이게 돌아 거치는 사이장 디시송기 로자와나 아니 뒤져 하마디 아니 용 쉐니 젠데 소스들 용니 두 신지 로자와나 땡땡 안솔 강가 제가 말상고도스 안솔 리치기 팀 딱다지 마케디 되는 욕을 내게 뒀어요 야컵 나이나리 소바 나이나리 최조 나이나리 팀 딱다지 마지디 욕을 망시디 될 얘기도 하더라.
And then she made an observation that some of the volunteers, could improve their knowledge on Buddhism in general, and particularly about creating positive karma and so on and so forth. So, so definitely, we should strive to improve and kind of assist in imparting this kind of knowledge for volunteers. So as we are in Australia, this is a country which has very good legal system, and our institute also have its own rules and regulations. So if you could follow, these rules and regulations, whether you are the director, whether you are the manager, whether you are the volunteer, if you could, follow the rules and regulations without fail, then there will be less kind of problem in the institute as well. So as far as the volunteers are concerned, immediately after they join this institute, we will provide them kind of all the instructions about how much time they should engage in the voluntary activities. And then if they have spare time, they could definitely join the Dharma classes and improve their knowledge regarding the Dharma. So therefore, if everybody could follow the rules and regulations and, do according to the rules and the regulations, then there will be less problem and confusion. This is even, same to the larger context as well. If you take the entire countries as an example, we can see that the main, cause of the problem is people's failure to follow rules and regulations, or people's failure to act in accordance to fulfill their duty. So if we could, discharge all our duties in accordance with the rules and regulation, then there will be less issues.
都是他就是我说我在下手了
So,
Yeah.
so we'll end the session here.
Final Lamrim prayer. From my two types of merits vasa space that I have amassed from working with effort at this practice for a grand length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds' wisdom eye is blinded by ignorance. Even if I do not reach this state, may I be held in your loving compassion for all lives, Manjushri. May I find the best of complete graded paths of the teachings, and may I please all the Buddhas by my practice. Using skillful means drawn by the strong force of compassion, may I clear the darkness from the minds of all beings with the points of the path as I have discerned them. May I uphold the Buddha's teachings for a very long time. With my heart going out with great compassion, in whatever direction the most precious teachings have not yet spread, or once spread have declined, may I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted boundless peace, and the Buddha's deeds be nourished for a long time. By even this graded path to enlightenment completed, due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhas and their sons. May all human and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and create conducive conditions for practicing the excellent paths never be parted in any of their lives from the purest path praised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes effort to act in accordance with the tenfold Mahayana virtues practices, may he always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. Thank you. Thank you, Gelan. Thank you to Plenla.